Good evening, Edward Bevilacqua here with the school. I'm here in Reno. This is October 29th, 2018. And this short video is really for the people at our new classroom here in Reno. Sort of a recap of what we did today in class. However, our people at the classroom in the prison in Las Vegas and the jail in Las Vegas can use it as well. As a review or to learn. So today was orientation and overview. Very simple. All we do, our program is just designed to give our students the tools and techniques they need to know in order to be successful. That's it. No big deal. Just the tools and techniques to be successful. Also, we don't teach, we help our students learn. We want our students to become autodidacts. So, in law school, you start with a phrase or a statute or a rule or a law, and to figure out what it means, you got to break it down. And where I went to law school, what we do is we would underline the key words in the law, rule, statute, etc. So here in our definition of success, we're going to focus on the key words. So for us, success is money plus meaning and purpose. That's it. In our program, in order to be successful, you have to have money and have meaning and purpose in that order. So it's not meaning and purpose, and maybe you make some money. It's not just money, it's money plus meaning and purpose. So in that, we now break that down. We would underline the word money and say, well, how are we defining money? And again, for our purposes in our class, other people can have different definitions, but for our purposes, money is just the ability to do more. That's it. There's no value judgment attached to it. It's just a tool. So for example, if you have no money and you need to get across town, across Las Vegas, say, how are you going to do it? Well, you can walk, you can beg or hitchhike. You can say to somebody, if you give me a ride, I'll buy you gas later, sometime in the future. But you don't have very many options. Your options are very limited. So let's say you have $10 to get across town. Well, you could say to somebody, I'll pay for your gas if you drive across town, take me across town. You could get a bus ticket, daily bus pass, and that would work. Now, let's say you had $20. Well, you certainly could take an Uber or Lyft, probably not a taxi. If you had $30, probably take a cab, maybe buy a used bicycle. $60, maybe certainly buy a used bicycle, probably take a cab or easily take a cab. The $100, buy a moped, used moped, do all of the other things, buy a skateboard, buy a bicycle. And so money is just the ability to do more. That's it. And we think that's very important. That's an important part of our thing. So the ability to do more would be more security, more safety, more travel, more enjoyment, more clothes, whatever. And then meaning and purpose. So what's our definition of meaning and purpose is service to others. And so in our definition, you cannot be successful unless you have both money and meaning and purpose in your life. You can't just have money and you can't have meaning and purpose. Service to others means to help them. And ultimately, fundamentally, to do service to others, you have to sacrifice something. It's not really service to others if it's, oh, by the way, here you go. Now, looking at that definition of success, money plus meaning and purpose, it's not too hard to take it one step further and ask the question of, well, what are people who don't have meaning and purpose in their lives like? Typically, it goes from the range of useless or to suicidal. many people today, in fact, our students, the students we have in jail, in prison, the ones that we really want to help, the ones that we think need the help. Well, let's say it this way. You can take the universe of all people in jail and prison, and you can divide it into three groups. Those who don't need help, they already have resources, they have a support network, they have a job, they have skills. They don't need help. They just need people to get out of their way and the system to get out of their way and let them do it. Then you have the people who can't be helped. So these are people who have mental illness problems, they have severe drug addiction problems, they want to be outlaws, they want to be off the grid, they're just happy or oblivious to what's going on. We don't target either of those two groups. That's not our students. Our students are people who really, um, depending upon whether they get the help they need, they're either going to move forward and be successful, or they're going to slide back into a really bad place. It's something that would be like their own personal hell. Those are the people that we really mean to serve. So our typical student in jail is somebody who has a drug problem and a homelessness problem. They don't have a support network. They have a trail of victims behind them and people who don't trust them. So now the students we have today, I don't think they're in that category, but they're part of the WellCare family, and we're proud to be able to help them get the tools they need to be successful. And again, success is money plus meaning and purpose. Meaning and purpose is service to others. That requires sacrifice. And one of the basic sacrifices is just your time to help someone. Now, when you do sacrifice or when you do spend time with other people, service to others, you release a neurotransmitter called oxytocin. And there's a lot of benefits to oxytocin, which is beyond the scope of this video, which is about halfway done. So, again, to recap, the purpose of our school is to help our students acquire the tools and techniques they need to be successful. Success for us is having money plus meaning and purpose. What is our path to success? Okay, so that's our goal. That's what it is. How are we going to get there? Well, in our program, we get there through power. And power, kind of like money, value neutral. There's no value judgment associated with power. Power is simply the ability to get people to do what you want in our program. That's our definition of power, the ability to get people to do what you want. In business, that's called management. Management. What do managers do? Well, they get people to do what they want them to do. In the military, that's called what? Leadership. Leaders are people in the army or in the military who get other people to do what they want. That's leadership, and that's power. So our goal is to help you learn the tools and techniques to become successful, which is money plus meaning and purpose. And the path to do that is to get other people to do what you want, other people to help you acquire money plus meaning and purpose. And we've got that broken down. Take it one step further. We have that broken down into just a very elegant three parts. One, bond with people that you want to help you. Bond, number one, bond. Number two, add value. And number three, ask them to do something. And by definition, if you ask people to do something and they do it, you then have what? Power. That's it. That's how it works. Bond, add value, and ask. So what do we mean by bond? Well, the simplest way to think about it is imagine you're in an fMRI machine and the person you want to bond with is in an fMRI machine. What you would want would be an observer to say, your brain patterns look similar. You guys are bonded. You have the same emotions, the same feelings. You experience whatever is going through your mind in the same way. That's what you want to do. That's where you want to get to. And Generally that's a positive feeling. People like being around you. You could bond in a negative sense too. It could be very, bonding over something sad. But uh, our focus, at least for this video, is positive bonding. Um, and the simple way to say it is get people uh, to like being around you, to feel comfortable with you, to trust you, etc. Adding value. What does that mean? Well, that's basically it's worth your time. Whatever it is you're doing with the other person, the um, not the not the presenter, but the presentee uh, has a sense, feels that, hey, this is worth my time. I like this guy and I'm learning something. They added value to my life. My life was a little bit better. And that's bonding, or that's adding value. And then you have to ask. And then it's very simple. The bond plus the value added must be less than the ask. I'm sorry, the bond plus the uh, added value have to be greater than the ask. And so Nolan Bushnell, who came up with our curriculum, his thing is give 115%, but expect 85% in return. So you bond, you add value, and then you ask. And the ask should be less than the bonding plus the value you added. That's our simple, elegant thing. So we spend 4 weeks going over how to do that. And it starts like this. The first week is overview and orientation. What are we doing? How are we doing it? Why? Etc. And we go over repetition, repetition, repetition. The second week is inside our skull-sized kingdom. The idea is it's very important to know why we behave the way we do, what makes us tick. Because if I know what causes me to act a certain way, then I can control my emotions. I can dial in who I need to be right now in this circumstance. And it's pretty much that for the typical person, your behavior is highly influenced by your emotions. If you feel bad, if you're upset, or if you're happy, your behavior reflects your emotions. That's from virtually everyone. Your behavior also then affects the outcome. So if you feel bad, you're going to behave bad, and the outcome is going to be less than good, typically. That's what's going to happen. If you feel good, you behave well, then the outcome is going to be good. Well, what causes our feelings? Well, our beliefs are, well, actually, our feelings are caused by the release of neurotransmitters. And neurotransmitters are released based upon our beliefs. So if I know how my brain works, I know how your brain works. And if I know how your brain works and I know what you believe, then I can help cause the release of neurotransmitters, which is going to affect your feelings, which is going to affect your behavior, and that will affect your outcome. So in the first week, second week, we learn why we behave the way we do. And we refer to that as inside our skull-sized kingdom. The third week is outside our skull-sized kingdom, how we get other people to do what we want. And then, because time is racing, I have 1 minute left. Week number 4 is employment planning workshop. That's a 6-step proactive process to get a career position or a foundational position. And it starts with, what do you want to do? What is it you want to do? Why do you want to do it? And who do you need to become? That's step 1. Step 2, what are 3 to 5 companies that do that? Do a Google search, YouTube search, find them. Google Maps, find 3 to 5 companies that do it. Research the companies so you know more about the companies than the person interviewing you. Create a plan, execute the plan, and then while you're waiting for that plan to come through, go and get a job to pay the bills. That's our proactive employment planning workshop. That's what we do the 4th week. That's our program. And today was a great historic day. We're looking for more tomorrow. And that's it. Thank you, world, for being there.